Hi, my name is Jacob, and welcome to another episode of Raw and Uncut on the Abrasive Conversations platform. In this episode, I would like to talk about online gambling. So, I think you might be familiar with online gambling. One of the biggest online gambling platforms is Lotterstar. But before I go into that, this particular episode is not sponsored by any gambling platform. What I'm actually trying to do is raise awareness about the dangers of online gambling in South Africa, because I believe that it is affecting the poor more than it affects the rest of the middle class and rich classes in South Africa. Because it has become so easy nowadays to participate in online gambling, especially if you have a cell phone. So if you have a cell phone, you can load some a voucher or credits, and you can play online there's online gambling games. And there is some people who believe that they can make a living off this dangerous activity that is online. Now, a lot of people might not share my beliefs that online gambling is dangerous, but a person who are close to a lot of family members and people, I believe that online gambling is taking a turn for the worse in poorer communities, especially how widespread it is. So I know of incidences where people take their whole weekly wages and just gamble it away. And I also know of people who get their SASSA grants and just gambling all of that away. And what then happens is that they have to borrow money from friends and family. And then you think that they might use this money towards the household, taking care of the household, buying food, and other necessities that they need. But what just happened again is that they use this money that you borrow them for online gambling games, and in most cases they lose that money again, and they tend to borrow money again, and so the cycle continues and continues and continues. Now, my issue is, especially with one of the slogans that these online gambling platforms have is winners know how to quit. Now, winners doesn't know how to quit, especially if they are addicted. And gambling, and especially online gambling, is extremely addictive. So what I see is that they use this slogan actually to draw in more people into these platforms, creating this illusion that they might win more money. Everyone that participate in these platforms are winners. Winners know when to quit. So winners doesn't know when to quit because most of those people does not make the money back that they spent on these online platforms. Now, the logic is simple, and a lot of people doesn't get this logic. Gambling only works if they take your money constantly. So every time you gamble, they want to take as much of your money, and it wants to make you a loser. So what happens is, at the end, they want you broke completely. They want all of your money being spent on these platforms, leaving you with no money. So it doesn't make sense that people think that if they can spend more and more money on these platforms, that they might be the lucky one to actually win some money back, and that money make them rich beyond their wildest dreams. It doesn't happen like this. And even people, I know people personally who have won big on these platforms, they end up losing all of that money again on the same platform. This platform just keep them in there and drawing them in. And it has consequences for family and friends, because we are the ones who have to pick up these pieces. And in most cases, people who are addicted to gambling tend to harm themselves, because the consequences are so dire that the only escape for them is to harm themselves. So family members who are dealing with this level of addiction are extremely vulnerable. And I know that there is people who are using these platforms responsibly, and that they are not addicted to this. So I am not completely against responsible gambling, but I have an issue on how widely it's been advertised. So if you switch on the radio, then every major radio station in South Africa are promoting gambling. KFM, 702, all of these major radio stations in South Africa have gambling ads from the morning people wake up until when they go to sleep, just promoting gambling with this particular slogan: winners know when to quit. And if you switch on the TV and you watch your favorite sports activity, then you will see the same thing again, gambling ads. If you look at the teams that is playing in specific leagues, then you would see on their chest there is Hollywood bets. So even gambling companies are sponsoring a lot of the major sporting events. And in South Africa, that marketing is legal. Now, what I feel where the government can step in and do something is the over-promotion of gambling. So there must be a level of restriction, especially when it comes to households that are at risk, especially your poorer families who are reliable on SASSA grants. Those are the families currently that I see that is mostly affected by online gambling, and a lot of people doesn't share my particular views. I also know that people watching this might take a lot of offense to it, but someone has to speak up and talk about this particular addiction that families, friends are currently experiencing. So if someone in the legislature is watching this and you would like to make a difference and you share my views, I would like you to propose amendments to the current legislature that we have. And we have to think about what is responsible gambling in an age when everyone are online and gambling is so easy accessible. I think that we can do something in that particular space. And for you as government who are part of the legislature, that is one of your responsibility, especially when it comes to grants and the way grants is being issued. We have to do something about it, because a lot of children and vulnerable people are affected by online gambling. So something must be done, and I propose changes to the current legislature. I have some ideas that what we can do and make it more responsible, but I don't want to be prescriptive. In this particular video, I just want to raise the awareness. So if you have a family member who is currently addicted to gambling and online gambling, there is a lot of places where they can get help. And if you are a family member who are struggling with gambling addiction, please reach out to your friends and family before it's too late. We all know the families who are affected by this. We all know that this is a problem. Some people trying to hide it, but we know when it's a problem. Any person who is addicted have a particular pattern, and we know the pattern. We know when you are doing it, so there's no way of actually hiding it. So the best way is to reach out and let's help. But helping you will not be giving more money. So if you're a family member who are affected by this, one of the things that you have to start thinking about is stopping supporting and borrowing and lending people money who use that money to gamble. Just a final image that I want to leave you with. So I recently went to this gambling place in Cape Town. What is his name? I can't get to his name. The Grand West. I went to go bowling with my son, and it was during the same time, during the SASA grants time. And as I walked into the casino, I saw a lot of elderly people coming out looking devastated. And after we finished bowling, I walked through the gambling area, and I could see just faces of elderly people sitting at these slots, trying to make money. The conclusion that I got was that they used their last bit of SASA grants to fuel this addiction that I currently have, thinking that they will make it big. It's a hope that is futile, and even if they win big, in many cases, they will go back to the same places and blow all of that money. So in this sense, I want people to know that when these gambling adverts are saying that winners know when to quit, that they're lying. They want every single penny of you. They want all of your money. They want you broke, and they don't want you with any money. So you are not a winner. In this particular instance, winners doesn't know when to quit. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in a next episode.